Better watch your step.
This must be the raven's feather Mr. Penske was talking about. And this must be the wolf's tooth Penske was talking about. I followed my lead to Flanagan's, an upscale cat house that catered to the whims of their clients. Inside the rat's nest of sleazy businessmen, I found Mulhaven.
This is a private room.
I'm Jim Pearson from the COI. I've got a few questions for you.
I'm sure I have nothing to say to you.
Oh, I'm pretty sure you want to talk about this.
Where did you get that?
That's not important. What's important is you answer my questions, you cooperate, and I won't have to show this little photograph to anyone else.
Beat it.
I want to know why Von Hess is blackmailing you. What's he after?
He wants to get into the Raven Room. There's a party.
Party? You're going to have to do better than that.
I swear, it's true.
Wait a minute. Let me get this straight. A German diplomat blackmails an important American industrialist, not for state secrets, not for money or political votes, but to get into a party?
It's true, I swear it. I don't know why he wants to get in, but he does.
You must have some idea.
He's looking for something. He says it was stolen and smuggled out of Germany. I have no idea what it is. I swear it.
What can you tell me about this Raven Room?
It's just a social club, like any other. It's popular. Exclusive.
You're not giving me very much. Maybe you'll be a little bit more cooperative if I toss you in jail for collaborating with a German spy.
Okay. Okay. On the whole, that's all it is. But there's an inner circle. First, I thought it was just a means of celebrating our heritage.
You mean German heritage, right?
Yes, our German heritage. Despite Hitler, there's no shame in that.
All right, so what about this inner circle? What are they up to?
Well, as I say, first I thought it was merely a means to celebrate our heritage. The ceremonial robes and secret greetings were all kind of hokey, but I could make some important business contacts and meet some very influential people. People who could help me should I decide to run for office. Seemed harmless enough. Then they took this too far. They're bent on restoring an order. An old order of knights. I was gonna leave the club, but... You have the reason there in your hand. Von Hess won't let me out.
I want to get into this party.
It's too late for that.
Don't try to put one past me.
The invitations don't go to just anyone. They're prepared very painstakingly in advance. First, you need a copy of the invitation itself. Then, it must be signed by the scribe. Finally, it must be sealed with the crest of the order. Even if I could get you the rest of it, I can't get you the seal.
All right. Here's an invitation. And judging from the stuff you've got in your room, you're the scribe.
How did you get this?
Don't worry about it. Just sign it.
Very well. Won't do you any good without the seal.
Do you have any idea why a kraut named Von Hess would be so eager to get into the Raven Room? He's been putting the squeeze on a Thule member pretty bad to get an invitation to this party of theirs.
You must go there.
What for?
The Nazis have been in pursuit of the Dahlia for some time now. If Hitler were to get his hands on the gem, I mean, who knows what kind of suffering the world would see.
There's only one problem. The party's by invitation only. And all the invitations have this seal from this old order of knights.
The followers of Landau.
Yes, that's right. The invitation's no good without the seal.
I've seen documents on display at the Museum of Natural History with that very same seal. I'll bet Miss Strauss would be willing to help you out.
All right. If I can't wrangle an invitation out of someone, I'll make my own. I was in luck. Helen knew where they kept an original stamp for the seal. She agreed to meet me at the museum after hours. I could use the stamp to make my seal, but I had to be extremely careful and return it to its display case as soon as I was finished. There was only one problem. I don't know, Helen. You're sure this is the right stamp?
Yes, I'm positive.
But the seals don't match.
I'm sure it's the right stamp. I guess it just needs adjusting.
You know how to do that?
Well, no, not really. You'll have to hurry. Fred will be making his rounds soon. I'll get in trouble if we're caught down here with that case open.
I'll do my best.
Jim, are you all right?
Yeah, I just keep having these weird nightmares, that's all. I'm okay, I'm fine. Thanks.
First you melt the wax on the paper. Then you press the seal into the wax. And voila, there's your sealed invitation.
Thanks, Helen. I better hurry if I'm going to make it to that party on time.
Well, well, if it isn't Mr. Mulehead and his esteemed guest.
You must be James Pearson of the COI. Joseph's told me all about your little visit.
I've got enough to pin on you to send you back to Germany.
Joseph, I wonder if you wouldn't be so kind as to allow Mr. Pearson and myself to chat privately.
All right, listen, mister. I know what you're up to, and I don't like it.
My dear Mr. Pearson, you have no idea at all what I am up to. You are, how do you say it, in over your head.
Well, now, the way I see it is that you're the one who's in over your head. Now, maybe if you had some of your thugs here to back you up, things would be a little different. But right now, I'm the one holding all the cards.
We've somehow managed to get off on the wrong foot. But for that, I am sorry. We are not so different, you and I, as you might think.
I am nothing like you.
Perhaps. But we are both after the same thing, no? I merely seek to return to my homeland what is rightfully ours. I prefer to do so as diplomatically as possible, without conflict. The incident at the loft was a terrible mistake. We were merely after the lackey's key.
Key? What key?
It looks much like an iron cross, does it not? It is a symbol of military honor in my country.
Well, it looks like I can add interfering with a federal investigation to the list of charges. I think it's about time you and I left quietly.
I have no intention of doing any such thing.
Let's not cause a scene.
Well, you're moving up in the world, sport. I never thought to see you in such a ritzy place as this. Have you met Elliot Ness?
No, but
No buts about it, then you simply have to meet him. I'm sure you'd like to meet the ladies, too, huh? Young bachelor like you ought to knock them dead. Elliot, I want you to meet Jim Pearson. Now, he's the young fella I've been talking about. The man who's going to give the COI some legs to stand on.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Jim.
likewise, Mr. Ness. Please, call me Elliot.
Oh, no, you can't leave without saying hello to the ladies now, Jimbo. What would they think?
Hello.
Hello. Pleasure to meet you.
I'm sorry. I've got to run.
Don't be silly, Jimbo. You just got here.
I'll be sure to stop back later, then.
He's a bit of a strange bird, that fella.
What's back there?
Private room, sir. It's not open tonight.
But I just saw somebody go in there. Mulhaven's friend, Jim.
That's a good one. What is he, a spy?
Is there something back there a spy would want?
I've been watching this door all night. There ain't nobody in there.
We went through and you were talking to Mulhaven.
Are you saying I haven't been doing my job?
I'm sure you've been doing a fine job watching the door. Haven't seen it go anywhere all night. There is a man back there and I've got to get him. Now, am I going to have to...
To what? If you don't beat it, mister, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll toss you out in your can.
This might just come in handy.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the gala premiere of The Raven Room. We hope you've been enjoying the festivities so far this evening.
What's going on here, huh?
Break the door down.
Open the
Come on,
door.
get in there, Dick.
Will you open the door?
Let's go for it. Come on.
Come on, fellas.
What are you doing back here?
What's going on here?
We caught this guy trespassed.
Call for a squad car.
Oh, shouldn't the Bureau handle this?
We'll sort it all out later. Call for a squad car. All right, give us some room here. Let's go, people. This is official business. Come on, let's go.
This is my jurisdiction. It's a federal offense.
It happened in city lines, you federal son of a bitch!
Why, you provincial little... Elliot, help me out here.
This isn't the place for this. Meet me in my office in an hour.
I knew that Mr. Sullivan was going to be plenty sore with me for causing such a fuss at the Raven Room, but it was worth it. The next day I decided to avoid the office and give him a chance to cool down, while I headed off to Sunnyvale instead. Now that I had all three of his magic trinkets in hand, I was eager to see what Mr. Penske would do with them. Unfortunately, I never got the chance.
Where's Mr. Penske?
I'm sorry, who is it that you're looking for?
Mr. Penske?
I'm sorry, there's no one named Penske here.
But he was just in here yesterday. You were there, I saw you.
You must be mistaken, sir. This room has been unoccupied for some time. Are you sure you have the right place?
But that's impossible. He was just here. I saw it.
Sir. Are you all right, sir? You seem a little flushed. Perhaps I can find something to calm your nerves.
No. No, thanks. I'll be just fine.
My leads grew cold as the coming winter. I was still at a loss to explain Walter Penske's sudden disappearance, but at least the nightmares had stopped. Now I simply drifted in and out of a dreamless sleep. I lost all track of time, the result of too many restless nights that left me with little energy to uncover the secrets of the Brotherhood of Thule. How they were linked to the Torso Killer, I wasn't sure. 8 victims down, 1 to go, if this guy really was following the prophecy of the ritual. And afterwards, God only knows what might happen. Like the calm before the storm, I sensed that something big was waiting to happen. And somehow, I would be in the center of it all. Maybe this Madame Cassandra can explain to me what's been going on.
Madame Cassandra awaits you.
Something weighs heavy on your heart. What is it that is troubling you? Ow! Oh, your aura has been branded.
What?
Oh, your spirit. It carries a very dark cloud.
Ma'am, I'm not following any of your Swami act. Can you speak to me in plain English? How about we start with why you sent me this?
Why, you must be the young man from the COI.
That's right, ma'am. I'm Jim Pearson. Now, Madam Cassandra?
You're among friends now, Jim, please. My name is Cassie. Oh, Dottie! Dottie! Oh, hello, Dottie. Could you please bring Mr. Pearson and I a cup of tea?
Yes, madam.
This, Madame Cassandra bit, it's just for my clients. Thank you. Now, I'm sure there's lots to talk about between you and I.
Yes, ma'am.
Well then, shall we begin?
Have you heard from Mr. Penske? You mentioned in your letter that he'd been in touch with you.
Just an odd little note with no return address. It only just arrived. It said if I were to receive this message, he would be out of reach for some time, and that I was to contact you immediately on a matter of utmost importance. He didn't mention what that matter was.
How long ago was this?
I only just received his letter. I wrote you straight away. Walter wouldn't have sent me that message without good reason.
Are you and Mr. Penske very close to one another?
Well, if anyone can be close to that stubborn old mule, I guess it's me.
Well, I'm sure he's fine. Wherever he is. Mr. Penske was supposed to help me with something. Well, it may all sound a little strange.
There's nothing strange under the sun. There are only small minds with small views of the world around us.
Well, he had me find these 3 trinkets. A book, a feather, and this fang. There's some kind of magic charms that are supposed to... Well, they're to help me with some problems with these nightmares that I was having. He was going to show me how to use them. The darndest thing is, my nightmares have stopped. Only I hardly sleep at all now.
The talismans are only temporary measures. Walter understood that. He should, after all. That's what I taught him. The problem is that your aura is still branded. You must be cleansed.
I'm sorry, ma'am. Cassie, I just don't get what it is you're trying to tell me.
That's okay, Jim. Let me try to explain this to you in layman's terms. Your spirit has an energy which someone like me, someone with a trained eye, can see. That energy glows with a white light. With you, I see a black shadow surrounding that light. Someone has tried to invade your spirit. Those nightmares are merely symptoms. Your subconscious mind is much more powerful.
Whoa, you're losing me again.
Someone is attacking you through your dreams. The 3 talismans are keeping them at bay, but that's only temporary. You must use them against your tormentor if you wish to be free.
Okay. So how do I get this guy?
It is dangerous, but you must stop them at the source.
I don't care about the danger. I just want to get this guy.
I can put you in a trance. You can travel to your dream state and face the source of your nightmares.
No offense, ma'am, but this all sounds like a lot of hooey to me.
Right. Is it any crazier than the nightmares that have plagued you already?
I don't guess so.
Shall we begin? Now relax. Concentrate on the locket. Block everything else out. Concentrate, concentrate, concentrate.
The fish are creatures of the moon, though she avoids their company. The fish are away from the sun, she's with me. The bird is away from the sun, she's with me. The bird is away from the sun, she's with me. When the bird is away from the sun, she's alone. The sun is on his right and she's alone. The bird sit on his right and left. The crown and the bird sit on his right. The keys are creatures of the sun. The keys are creatures of the sun. The keys are creatures of the sun. The bird and the fish are the base of all. The star follows the key. The star follows the key. The star follows the key. The London crown prefers the key. By day that no twin can stand its sibling. No twin can stand its sibling. The star follows the key. The star crown prefers the key. The right and east is the left. The moon is far. No twin can stand its sibling. No twin can stand its sibling. No twin can stand prefers the moon. Rounds itself. The comet is seen after the moon has risen. The key follows the shield when the keys are creatures of the sun. The bird and the fish are the base of creatures of the sun. The keys are creatures of the sun. The keys are creatures of the sun. The serpent will chase the comet's tail. If not chased itself, fish are the base of all. The bird and the comet's tail. If not, the comet is seen after the moon has risen. The comet is seen. There's the moon and the fish, its sibling. No twin can stand its sibling. The key follows its risen. The comet is seen. No twin can stand its sibling. No twin. The star follows the key. 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 The star.
Have you heard? Thanks for your help.
You're quite welcome, Jim. I'm glad to help.
I was floating in the night sky. I was surrounded by colored spheres.
Like the stars and the planets?
I suppose so.
There must be a pattern. You need to find it. In astrology, the spheres are associated with any number of things. Colors, metals, numbers, even angels. Find the associations and you'll be able to find your way through the spheres. Perhaps this will help.
What is it?
It's a book on astrology. It will help you see the patterns amongst the stars and planets.
What's on your mind?
What happened to that Von Hess fellow?
He's in Winslow's hands. I've requested that he be turned over into our custody, but I'm afraid the FBI has all the pull with the men in Washington right now. I should imagine, however, that at the very least, he'll be deported to Germany.
I know you're going to think this is a little screwy, sir, but... well, I am convinced that there is a connection between this Brotherhood of Thule and the Torso killings.
I'd say you'd lost your marbles, but I think I know you a little better than that. All the same, that's rather a large leap of logic, don't you think? What proof do you have?
Nothing firm, maybe just a hunch.
I'm gonna need something more solid than a hunch.
Well, for starters, there's Louis Fisher. Now, we know he worked for this Brotherhood, and he was only killed after I got a hold of him at the Raven Room. Now, I think he was killed by this Brotherhood to keep him from talking, and they sent his head in a box to try to scare me away. But Detective Marilow is convinced that he was murdered by the Torso killer. That's a mighty big coincidence, don't you think?
Go on.
Well, here's the really screwy part. There's the Black Dahlia.
The Black what?
Dahlia, sir. It's a rare gem. Legend has it that whoever has this thing will be granted great powers, but only after you give it a blood sacrifice of 9 victims. It's hoodoo nonsense, sir, but it must be pretty valuable. Because Von Hess was just a little too eager to get his hands on it. That's what got him into hot water at the Raven Room.
What does this gemstone of yours have to do with the Raven Room?
I think this Brotherhood uses the Raven Room as a front. And whoever's behind this society, he's the one with the Dahlia. That's what Von Hess was trying to get in the club's back room.
Now let me see if I've got this straight. The Brotherhood of Thule uses the Raven Room as its front, and they have this magic gemstone the Nazis want. And if I understand you correctly, the Torso killings are all on account of this Black Dahlia as well?
I know it sounds half-baked.
I don't think it's even made it into the oven, Mr. Pearson.
Trust me on this one, sir. Please. I know I don't have any proof, but if I'm sure of anything, I'm sure of this. The Torso killer is connected to the Brotherhood of Thule, and all these murders are tied up somehow in this black gem of theirs.
Very well, I'll let you pursue this. For now, talk to Winslow and Marilow, see what they've got on the Torso killings. See if you can't find some solid evidence of a connection to the Raven Room. Now, I'm sure I don't need to tell you we can have no more incidents like the one we had at the party. See if you can't handle this a little more delicately.
Thank you, sir. You won't regret this.
See that I don't, Mr. Pearson.
Come in. What can I do for you, Pearson?
There was some ruckus with that Von Hess fella.
Yeah. Funny how he just happened to get caught back there like that, huh?
Yeah, it was funny that way.
I got a little something for you. I don't know why I pocketed this, but I did. I got mad when Ness handed that crowd over to Winslow, so I kept it. This'll probably do you more good than it will me. I don't know what it is, but I saw the crowd drop it. He seemed plenty upset when he couldn't find it.
Thanks, Detective. This might be a big help. Do you know what happened to the medallion Von Hess had on him?
What?
The medallion. It was shaped like an iron cross. He had it with him at the party.
Sorry, kid, I don't know anything about that. But if he had it with him at the party, the FBI should have found it when they tossed him.
I'd like to see the evidence in the Torso case.
Yeah, right, kid. Why would I need another Fed interfering in my investigation? One's plenty.
Because I think I can help you.
You know, kid, you made me curious. Why do you need to see the torso evidence?
Come on, detective. You smelled a rat ever since my man's head turned up in a box. My case is all wrapped up in this torso-killing business. You know it, I know it. All I'm asking for is a little help. Let me see the case file. If anything in my investigation turns up that should have a bearing on your case, you'll be the first person I come to. Or, if you prefer, I can go straight to Winslow.
You know, I'm beginning to like you, Pearson. You'd have made a good cop. Who knows? Maybe you can help me. Nothing like getting a fresh pair of eyes on it anyways. Here you go. Knock yourself out.
Have you found any similarities among the torso victims?
Hard to tell what with the little bits left in them. Only stiff we've positively identified other than your man was the killer's first victim, a kid named Angelo Santini.
What do you make of that one?
Kid was a street hustler. Petty thief. At first we thought maybe he crossed the wrong man, but when the other bodies started popping up, we knew Santini wasn't a revenge killing. We don't have a whole lot else on him.
Any crime scenes bear checking into?
Funny you should mention that, because there was one place I was just thinking about checking again. We found a few bodies around the pond just off of Kingsbury Run. The sewers all run into it. We thought he might be using them, but there are miles and miles of them. You might want to try checking them yourself.
What about the newspapers?
Damned if I know, kid. It's the strangest thing. The bodies came wrapped in them. Now, we thought he might be leaving behind a clue for us, but we haven't been able to figure out a pattern. Papers came from all sorts of different times, different places. Nothing sticks out. Maybe you can figure out a connection.
I'll do my best. Where's the rest of the evidence?
What do you mean? It's all there.
Well, unless the killer changed his methods just for Louis Fisher, the rest of him should have been found wrapped up as neat as a butcher's steak.
Oh, nothing slips by you, does it, Hotshot? Thing is, that's all I've got. Winslow's been stalling with the evidence from Louis' murder for weeks. Says his boys have it in the lab. Now, if I was the cynical type, I'd say he was withholding evidence so I couldn't find the killer. I'd say he was trying to hog the credit for himself, while we working stiffs do all the work. But that'd just be if I was cynical.
Thanks, Detective.
Anything for you, kid.
Jimbo! What can I do you for?
What happened to Von Hess?
We're questioning him right now. I imagine he'll be sent back to Germany shortly.
Did he spill anything?
Said he had every right to be at that party. Won't say what he wanted in that back room, though.
What happened to Mr. Penske? What did the Bureau do with him?
Why, whatever you talking about, sport?
Why was Mr. Penske moved from his room at Sunnyvale?
Look, now, I don't have any idea what it is you're all worked up about. Last I heard, he was shipped off to a sanitarium after his crack-up. Now, if he had been moved, I'm sure it was due to his doctor's recommendations.
Did you find anything on Von Hess?
No, nothing important. Just some papers, money, that sort of thing.
No medallion?
Well, yes, now that you mention it, he did have some sort of cross on him. Why? What's so important about it?
I think that medallion plays a part in my investigation. I'm not sure what just yet, but I'd like to get my hands on it.
Oh, no, that's not too likely. Now, he may have had his hand caught in the cookie jar, but he's still an important diplomat. Now, we just can't pass around his personal belongings now, can we, sport?
He stole that medallion.
Do you have any proof of that?
No.
Then I'm afraid there's nothing I can do.
I'd like to see the evidence in the torso case.
Jimbo, that's hardly your jurisdiction.
True, but I believe there's a connection between my case and your killer.
That doesn't seem very likely. How do you figure?
Well, there's the Louis Fisher murder.
Louis Fisher worked at many different places and made quite a few enemies. It doesn't surprise me that the torso killer was one of them.
Detective Merlo tells me you've still got some of the evidence in the torso case.
Our boys are going over the evidence very thoroughly. We've had a late start on this case. Merlo's been working on it far longer than us, and he's gotten nowhere. Now that we've been called in, we intend to do the job right. If there's one thing in this world I can't abide, it's incompetence.
Oh, so it's not because Detective Merlo has a leg up on you like he says.
I'm gonna be the man to catch this killer. But I suppose I should look into it and make sure my men return the evidence once they're done with it.
Has Winslow returned the evidence yet?
Yeah. The newspaper we found with him is in the file. That's what you wanted, wasn't it? Think you can find something in that?
Too soon to tell, Detective.
I wonder if this Santini's home bears checking into.
Thanks, Detective.
Anything for you, kid?
This is his room. The police already searched here many times. I don't know why you need to see it again.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm just new to the case. Just thought I'd have a look around, see if I could see anything that maybe some of the other detectives might have missed.
You leave things the way you found them. You won't disturb anything.
You won't even know I've been here, ma'am. I'll leave this place exactly as I found it. I was raised to pay respect for the departed. Do you know of anybody that would have wanted to harm your boy, ma'am?
Everyone loved my Angelo. He was a sweet angel.
Do you recall him getting into any fights? Someone with a grudge against your son?
My Angelo was not killed because of a grudge. He was killed by a monster. My boy never hurt nobody. He was a good boy.
I'm sure he was, ma'am. I'm sure he was.
I'm going to leave you alone now. I would just be in your way here.
Thank you, ma'am. So, Angelo and Louis knew each other. And why doesn't it surprise me to see two torso victims hanging out in the clubroom of the Brotherhood of Thule?
Hello, Jim.
Hello, Cassie. Could you put me in a trance?
Of course. Let's begin. Now relax. Concentrate on the locket. Block everything else out. Concentrate, concentrate, concentrate.